Welcome to the official For Fuck's Sake podcast, where we discuss all things guaranteed to make you say, for fuck's sake. I'm Johnny, and I'm just sitting here with my lovely co-host, Jessica.
Hi, Johnny. Well, great to be here.
It's great to have you.
So,
I missed you since last week.
really?
No,
Well, I was going to say we do actually live together.
that's why I couldn't miss you.
Um,
They say absence makes the heart grow fonder.
absence or absence? The drink or the missing people?
I mean, probably a little bit of both, let's be honest here.
I don't know. I've never had absinthe.
It's out of this world.
Okay. Anyway, so I guess this week we've decided to cover the topic of social media and its impact on relationships,
That's right.
friendships, romantic, etc., etc.
Etc.
But first, I would like to answer a question from one of our listeners, Maurice. She actually asked why we got into open relationships. So this is obviously going back to last week's episode. So she wanted to know why. Why, Johnny? Why did we decide to open our relationship? What was the thing what was the catalyst for you?
I would say living without the guilt.
So you wanted to live without the guilt. You just wanted to get me to say, do what you want to do.
No, I'm just saying. Okay, let me rephrase that. I'm saying I wanted it to happen so upon the opportunity we're given, we meet somebody, they're cool, we're hanging out, one thing leads to another, they want to make out.
You want to be able to act on it.
You want to be able to act on it and it not be, cheating or frowned upon.
So, once again, what you're saying is you just wanted to be able to do stuff with my say-so. Or to know that it was not going to be an issue. That I've said, yes, we can do this.
To a certain extent. But at the same time, I just feel like life is too short to not do what we want to do.
I'm not arguing the point. I'm 100% agreeing. I'm the same. I want to be able to act on those feelings.
Yeah. Like
I'm not denying that. I'm just pushing you here.
Yeah, well, I feel pushed.
That's good. Triggered, maybe.
Assaulted, maybe.
Attacked.
I felt attacked. No, I just think that it's really good to be able to act on the opportunity in the moment. Because I mean, we've all been in those situations, and how many times have we had to turn down the situation because of morality issues or,
Too many times.
Exactly. Not everybody does. But
who wants to live a life of regret, really?
That's what I'm saying.
So,
what was your reasoning?
What was my reasoning? Obviously what you've just discussed to a certain extent. The other part of it is that I just like the attention. So, I'm a bit of a narcissist.
Sounds about right.
I like the attention. I like to have guys wanting me, I guess. Obviously, you're quite vocal in your appreciation of me physically. But I just, I'm like, well, you're biased, I want to know that the broader public find me attractive.
Everybody thinks that their significant other is just telling them what they want to hear because you're in the relationship. You just assume that they're only telling you that because,
they have to.
Yeah. They're like, whoa, I'm skating on thin ice, buddy. I better watch myself here and not reveal the truth. But if you're on Tinder and somebody swipes right and you're like, yeah, they want me.
Yeah, I know. I'm hot.
Yeah.
I just like that confirmation. I don't know. But I've always sort of liked the attention, and I think it goes back to the fact that in high school, I just didn't get it. I really wasn't, I was one of those glow-up type of people.
Yeah.
I was pretty average in high school.
I've seen photos. We're not going to talk about that. But
yes, you are. Go on. No, go on. I know you want to.
We're not going to embarrass you here.
I'm already embarrassed at all times. Pretty much every time we do a podcast, it embarrasses me to some extent because it's usually putting me in a bad light. It's going to get worse in this one, I think. But I
I
know
mean,
you
you
want to.
just said
I
you
know you
started
want
this
to.
off saying that you were a
I
narcissist.
am a narcissist.
I rest my case. So I don't think that I can, or the podcast is going to paint you in a bad light when you are already over here doing a self portrait. Okay.
Okay. Well, I had some fairly questionable haircuts and
Some questionable nicknames.
some questionable nicknames. No,
Chad.
Chad. That wasn't at high school. That came from you after.
That's true. It did.
I look like a boy, okay? I look like a teenage boy. And sometimes in the morning, when I've just got out of bed and my hair's all messy and that, I still look like a teenage boy.
But with long hair.
Yeah, like a 90s teenage boy.
Oh.
Anyway, neither here nor there. What I was
I don't know what to say to that.
is basically Johnny named me Chad because in the photos of me in high school with short hair, I do. I look like a Chad. I'm not going to deny it.
Chad Chaddington.
Chad Chaddington. Anyway,
You've heard it first here on For Fuck's Sake podcast.
yeah. So, anyway, attention whore. I like the attention. And I think you were even kind enough to help me foster, or what's probably not even quite the word, to help me nurture that side of me. So I think it was at your suggestion, and I was like, yeah, let's do this. We started, and I say we because it was a joint venture, we started an Instagram
Yeah. That is
account
exactly how it started.
for me,
Yep.
or of me,
Yep.
I don't know, where it was basically like sexy kind of pictures of me,
Yeah.
a lot of butt shots, things like that.
Give the people what they want.
And it actually really took off. So at first I didn't show my face.
Yeah. Kept it private.
We kept it private, yeah. So, I mean, it was a public site, wasn't it? But we either blurred out my face or we just didn't have my head in the picture.
Yeah, we would just crop it out entirely.
So, yeah, we ended up with a lot of followers. It just kind of grew and grew, and we ended up with thousands of followers.
It blew up.
We had a Snapchat. Yeah, it did really well. You know, mind you, I probably looked a little bit better back then. And it wasn't that long. It was only a couple of years ago. But I don't know. Johnny did most of the adminning and did a lot of the conversing with my fans just because I didn't have the time or the inclination sometimes.
And
you
really,
get a lot of rubbish in your
you
DMs.
almost have to. It's not so much that you don't really have to answer the DM so much as you have to interact, at least like a few comments to
Yeah.
make it seem like you give a shit.
Yeah, and there were some nice guys.
I'm not saying that you didn't give a shit. I'm just saying you have to put forth effort. It is a job. It is not.
That's right. And I had a baby. I was dealing with all that stuff. So, and I think probably working at the same time. Anyway, that's beside the point. The point was that I thoroughly enjoyed the attention I received, but it did get overwhelming and it did get a little bit annoying. Not annoying, but you get some people that don't want to leave you alone. They do kind of harass you. They take it quite seriously.
Yeah, they act like they know you.
Yeah.
Like you guys are just best friends and
Yeah,
that you have
and
nothing going on in
Yeah,
your
they're
life.
the only person that's talking to you. It's
Yeah.
like, no, I've got a few hundred, DMs to go through.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, what can you do? You're always gonna have those people.
So I was like, hey, Johnny, how do you feel like chatting to some guys today? Because I can't be bothered anymore. I've done my 50 for the day. Now it's your turn. Thoroughly enjoyed the attention. We even had a Snapchat as well, and then went into
Forgot about the Snapchat.
went into OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And I was an original OnlyFans girl, an OG.
You were.
So this was before COVID. This was, yeah, it's probably, what is it, 2023 now. So it was probably 3-4 years ago.
Yeah,
Gosh, it's actually, yeah, it's got to be close to 4 years ago
closer to
now.
4 now. Yeah.
Yeah, so had a couple of subscribers or so,
Yeah.
made some monies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Showed some cheeks.
So, but you know what happened though?
What's that?
Well, you know, to the listeners, I actually got deleted from Instagram. I had a few warnings along the way, but because people kept reporting me, and it was mainly the girlfriends and wives of the guys that followed me.
Salty women.
So I never actually posted anything that I didn't even post nipple.
No, it wasn't.
Nothing.
That's the thing. This was very PG. I wouldn't. Well, no, I wouldn't say PG.
It's classy.
PG-13.
PG-13. Okay.
But definitely there was no nudity or anything.
But I got deleted.
But you got deleted.
And you know what? I was like, I can't be bothered trying to build up that massive thousands of, followers again. And I said, I'm done. I got my attention. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yep.
But to all you women out there making your money on OnlyFans, you keep at it, boo. You keep doing the damn thing.
You do. And
we ain't mad.
We ain't mad
We ain't
at
mad.
all. Grind your grind.
All these other people that talk shit about it, I think
salty.
it's funny. That's all it is.
They're just jealous.
Yeah.
Because I think anyone that's on OnlyFans making money, like, haha, to the idiots that aren't.
Yeah.
Because you're doing it.
That's exactly
And they're just upset. And I've had my time. I did it. I'm like the grandma of OnlyFans now.
I actually recently had somebody ask me if you had an OnlyFans and whatever, and I told them that you did at one point.
It's still out there. I think it's still active. I think I just turned like.
I think it's been deactivated now.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, because of
That's sad.
you have to upload a certain amount of stuff in a certain amount of time
good.
or whatever. Yeah. The account's still there, but it's just deactivated. Like nobody. I don't think anybody can access it.
So put in the comments if you want me to react. No, please. No, I'm not reactivating it. My time is done. I did my time. I led the way.
Your booty.
I led the way for all the new OnlyFans girls.
There's some good photos on there though.
Some great photos. Put a lot of effort into that. Anyway.
Lots of effort.
So, what we're really here for though.
What are we here for?
Is to talk about social media's impact on our friendships and our relationships and how we can interact with each other.
Yeah.
And being a child of the 80s and 90s, I still am coming to terms with social media. I mean, I use it every day and I love it, but it does blow my mind when I think back to, little things like calculator watches, and now we have smartphones and...
I'm not going to lie, I still want one of those calculator
Oh
watches.
my God. Casio,
Bro.
if you're listening...
That's right. We're not being sponsored, but if you want to send us a free one that we can review and talk about and say some great things about,
we're
because
down. Do it.
we're already saying the great things. So, I mean, what have you got to lose?
Exactly. But I think the thing is, social media has really had a profound impact on the way we interact with one another. So, friendship, romance, it's affected everything. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're able to connect and communicate with each other in ways that we couldn't before. So it's, unless you're born into this sort of generation that this is all they've ever known.
Yeah.
But for us, I grew up wanting a pen pal. That was how you made friends with people across the world.
Yeah.
That's the only way we would have met.
That is literally the very only way we would have met.
Because Johnny was in America and I was in Australia.
Yeah.
And obviously we stumbled across each other on Instagram, but yeah, and we were lucky that we had a good experience.
Yeah.
Because I had some really bad ones along the way.
The internet is not always a good place.
No, well, yeah.
It's dark. It's real
The
dark.
dark web, yeah. You know what? I haven't been on the dark web, but I feel like I might have been touched by its dirty fingers.
So you feel like you were fingered by the dark web.
In so many words, or not in so many words, but yeah,
A little bit of fondlage.
little bit of foreplay by the dark web.
It's not right. Keep your hands off of her dark web.
So, have you had any bad sort of interactions,
Let me see here.
or is it just me?
Um, you start off
Okay.
some of your experiences,
All right.
and I'll think while you're
I feel like you're not enough of a sucker
well.
for
It's
the
not.
bad interactions.
It's not that I avoid people like the fucking plague.
Fair.
On the internet, IRL, I hate people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Whereas you said that you do shit for attention.
Yeah.
I hate attention.
Okay.
So, we're just opposites.
Lies. I don't know. I feel like you do like attention, but anyway, that's another topic altogether. Another
If a woman is, talking
something
to
to
me
unbox.
and she's like, "What's up, Big Daddy Birdman?" And I'm just like, "Yo, what's up, girl?" That's a whole different thing. But just in general, I'm
Okay.
not looking for that meme.
Once upon a time. No.
There was a girl
I'm not going to do that.
named Jessica.
There was. So I used to have a lot more followers on Instagram on my personal account
Yep.
because I was single and good looking, and that always helps.
That always helps. That's the way to getting mass amounts of followers.
And I wasn't constantly posting pictures of my children
That also helps.
because that's just like a dead end for
I've had people
for
unfollow
social media.
me for posting photos of my children, so I get it.
So I used to have a lot. It was my thing. That was what I did. I posted selfies like all those girls do these days. Posted everything. Constantly posting pictures on Instagram. So I had lots and lots of followers. Used to chat with all these people because I had nothing better to do with my time.
Yep.
And there was one girl that I was friendly with, and she was in America, and we bonded over being vegan.
Yeah.
And we used to send each other vegan candy. So she'd send me ones from America, I'd send her ones from Australia.
Were they completely different brands?
Yeah,
Different.
Absolutely. I was like, I've never even heard of these brands.
I bet.
And so we did that, and we'd chat, and you know the thing you do on Instagram where you're like, oh my god, look at you, you're so gorgeous. Look at your selfies, they're so beautiful.
No, I think that's just a girl thing.
It is a girl thing, I know.
Yeah,
but
I don't do that.
It's like what we do when we get into the toilet at the bar when we're drunk.
Yeah,
We're like,
definitely.
oh my god, you're so beautiful. We do it on Instagram.
I don't
too.
take guys in there like, bro,
No.
stand here and look at my dick while I'm pissing.
No, I know, but it's a girl thing. So
It's weird.
So we were that kind of, Instagram friend.
Yeah.
And at some point, she started a online kind of relationship with a guy in Australia, in Western Australia.
Interesting.
So WA, which, if you don't know Australia, we're quite a big country.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was much smaller, judging, like, just looking at a map, until I came here and realized how massive a country this actually is.
So it's actually further to fly to Western Australia from Victoria, where we live, than it is to fly to a whole other country like New Zealand. So it's about 4 hours to Perth.
It's crazy.
In WA.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it.
It is crazy. So this girl was seeing this guy, or I don't even know why I'm saying seeing, because she wasn't seeing him unless you're talking about video chats. She was...
That kind of counts.
She was having a bit of a thing with this guy. He was quite a lot older than her.
Yep.
And he was also married.
They usually are.
I know. So he was doing the sneaky. It wasn't even like his wife knew.
Sounds about right.
So he was doing the sneaky with this young American girl. So at some stage, she decided, on the spur of the moment, that she was going to book tickets to Australia to come and see him.
Mind you, it is very expensive for a plane ticket to Australia.
Yeah, it is. And particularly the shorter the notice, the the more expensive it is.
Exactly.
I know this. I booked tickets 3 weeks out and it cost me about $3,000 a ticket.
Just so you know.
Anyway, so this girl messaged me and said, I booked tickets. I'm coming to Melbourne. I'm flying into Melbourne.
What was your thoughts?
Cool. That's good. Excellent. So, because at this stage, she said, I'm flying into Melbourne and then I'm going to Perth
Yeah.
to see this guy.
So you thought it was just a quick visit?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Let's get a coffee.
She was like, can you pick me up from the airport? Can I maybe stay with you for a night before I head over to Perth?
Easy enough.
Sure.
Exactly.
Sounds like fun. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
And then it became, I spoke to him and he said that I can't stay with him because he's married,
Oh.
but I can stay nearby and he'll come and visit me. So he said I can get the train from Melbourne to Perth. Bearing in mind that she was only here for a week.
Bearing in mind, from Victoria to Perth.
That's days.
That's a
of
6-day train ride.
Well, I don't know if it's a 6-day train ride, but it's something like 38 hours of train travel.
That's insane.
She was under the impression, from what he'd said, that it was like an hour or maybe 2 hours, if that. So I had to explain to her
how big this country actually
the geography of the country, because
Yeah.
she'd obviously neglected to look on maps or whatever. And sort of break the news to her that he was obviously having a lend of her and had no intention of seeing her when she came here. I think he'd been the one that told her that she'd fly into Melbourne and then it would be a quick little trip to Perth.
Oh, what a sneaky dick.
Yeah.
Because doesn't Perth have its own?
I think they do have a fly out for like LA now, but I don't think they did back then.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yikes.
So she was kind of, I don't know if she was dumb, but she was just like, she just didn't get that he was screwing with her.
Yeah.
And she'd already booked the tickets. So then it became, oh, hey, can I stay with you for a week?
Because I fucked myself.
Yeah. To which I was like, yep. Because I felt bad. She'd booked tickets.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, why is this my problem?
That's exactly it.
I don't even know you.
Yeah.
So I pick her up from the airport.
Yep.
I've got my little spare room set up with like a shitty mattress on the floor because I don't have nothing.
Yeah.
Okay? I've just come out of a long-term relationship.
That's exactly it. You just moved into an
Just
apartment
moved
yourself.
into an apartment. I've got nothing, okay? I left all my shit behind. So I think my dad lent me the mattress. And you know what? My cat ended up pissing on it.
Oh my god.
That was like the day after she left. But I ended up, and I know, God, some people are going to judge me for this, but it got to a point I was like, I literally cannot have this person in my house any longer.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't think that anybody would judge you because she was essentially
Imposing
a
herself on me.
stranger
Yeah.
that you've never met before.
Yeah.
On top of it, she made some kind of weird, on a whim decision to move to visit Australia, just randomly
Without
because
checking with the guy.
Without even.
Well, he probably didn't think she was actually going to book the tickets.
Yeah, because it's very expensive. Most people do not, or would never think that somebody's just going to randomly, surprise, I'm just going to fly across literally the fucking world.
Yeah.
And we're going to hang out and we're going to live happily ever after.
So, while she was here, though, she was still video chatting with him. And they were telling each other they loved each other.
Even after he...
She didn't... Johnny, it wasn't processing. It was like she could not see past the... She couldn't see the fucking bullshit that he was spinning.
My brain hurts.
My brain hurt.
I'm in danger.
So, long story short, I was like, you got to get a hotel away from me. You can't be here anymore. I can't have you. You're driving me crazy.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
She was weird, okay?
Yeah.
She was legit weird. There was a lot of red flags. I mean, there should have been a lot of red flags, anyway, but...
I mean, the fact that she booked a flight
No!
to another
I was
country.
trying to be generous and welcoming, and I couldn't. But I did try.
You
I
did
put the
try.
effort in.
You tried.
So I did drop her off at a hotel. She booked a hotel and I dropped her off there and I said, these are all the fun things you can do in Melbourne. Bye-bye.
So how'd she end up getting back to the airport?
Fuck, I don't know. See, horrible person. I am a horrible person.
Yeah, I don't really care. So,
That was my number one bad
yeah,
experience.
that's a pretty bad experience.
With friendships on the internet.
So is that all you've got?
No. No.
Let's hear another one.
That's just the tip of the... I was going to say iceberg, but I feel like dick would be more appropriate.
Yeah,
because I got fucked on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, on this podcast.
So, my other really bad story is that was actually, this one goes back even before that one.
Okay, let's hear it.
So that was like the second time I got fucked by the internet, but the first time was I actually got catfished.
Yeah.
And that is quite a demoralizing feeling, and I don't even really want to be discussing this because it still makes me feel like an idiot, but I'm sharing it for the greater good.
But
and for everybody's entertainment.
But when you say catfish, you weren't catfished in the sense that somebody looked like somebody else was using different photos or anything like that.
No.
So it wasn't like that. So this was the actual person.
It was the person. They were just a pathological liar.
That's what it was.
And so basically I was going to America. I had a holiday booked with a friend and we were going to see a band, and I'd been there before, but not by myself. And I was kind of leading the charge on this one because she'd never been outside of Australia.
Yep.
And I'd been to the States before. So I was friends with some people, or I was following some people on Instagram that lived in California, which is where I was going. And one of them actually lived in Southern California, or SoCal.
Yep.
In the LA area. And so I actually, at the behest of my friend, messaged him and said, hey, we're coming to the States, to LA. What are the chances of you, showing us around, what have you?
Yeah.
So this is someone I didn't know.
Yeah.
But it was someone that I had kind of chatted with a little bit. So he was like, yeah, sure. Sounds good. Let's do this. And then after that, from that sort of point on, we started chatting a lot online, on Instagram. And we had so much in common. It was crazy.
Yeah.
In hindsight, we had so much in common because that was part
liar.
of the plan.
That
was his pathological bloody lying. So at some point, I think he, kind of professed his love for me or something. Which it was probably pretty quick, but
it was 30 minutes into the conversation.
It wasn't 30 minutes, but I was in a relationship that I wasn't overly happy in.
Yeah.
And a relationship in which that really had no future. He had said he didn't want to get married and he didn't want to have kids. Whereas this guy that I was talking to in Cali was like, of course I want to get married. Love to have kids.
Yeah.
Kids are fucking magnificent. You would make a great wife. You would make a great mother. So he really hooked me in that way.
Yeah. Told you what you wanted to hear.
Exactly, 100%. But this is years ago, and I was very naive to this sort of what happens with the internet back then. So went to America. Called him up. He came to our motel, and it was actually, he was a really, we had a lot of fun, okay? And I did find him slightly attractive, probably more charming than attractive, to be honest. But we did get on quite well, and we had some good times. But the entire time, I just thought,
something's not right.
Something's not right.
Yeah.
Things weren't adding up. Things were weird. He would...
You always know deep down.
He would talk on his phone But I'm like, I don't think his phone's even there's not even a phone call. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's weird.
And I'd be trying to like kind of get a look on the screen to see if it was like
Yeah, yeah,
active.
yeah, yeah.
But he was like, his phone was always on silent. So he'd be like, oh, got a call. And I wouldn't even know if he really did or
Yeah.
not. It just, his stories kind of changed, chopped and changed. And he'd sort of come up with these, fantastical bloody stories and stuff that just did not seem legit.
Yeah.
And he talked himself up a lot, like he was kind of friends with the celebs and
They
stuff like
always
that.
do.
And had all these stories about, like, we couldn't go to his apartment because the power was off or something, and then he'd lent his key to a friend and he couldn't get in touch with the friend, and just all these sort of weird things. And this was only over the span of like 5 days or something. So
Yeah.
you kind of in the excitement of the holiday and you got so many things going on.
Yep.
But at one point, I'm pretty sure, almost 110% sure, that he drugged me or spiked my drink.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not 100% sure why. I have some theories, but I've never in my life had a night where I don't remember a damn thing
Yeah, yeah.
and woke up feeling like I had been hit by a bus.
Yeah.
I don't even think I drank that much.
Yeah.
But when I did check my credit card statement, he had had a great night on me.
I bet he did.
So he drunk about $300 and something worth of alcohol.
What the fuck?
I think he was drinking like double bloody whiskies or whatever, scotch.
I mean, I know the alcohol is expensive, but fucking hell.
Yeah, I know, and he probably was shouting other people drinks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These $20 shots in Hollywood.
Yeah. Anyway, so after I was still kind of in that fantasy world of, he
wanted to believe him?
I wanted to believe him, and he claimed that although I don't remember anything, I was buying drinks for everyone. Which, maybe I was. I don't remember because I, for the life of me,
don't remember shit.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Complete blackout. He also claimed that I puked down the side of an Uber and that the driver said I had to pay $80 or he was going to charge me like $300 or something. So if I paid $80 cash, he wouldn't charge me $300 on the actual Uber account or something, or Lyft or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And that was this guy's way of saying, oh, I took $80 out of your purse. All the money you had in your purse is gone because I had to pay for the fact that you threw up down the side of the car. So, through all this...
I'm pretty sure an Uber driver would be like, fuck my life, but I don't think that they can get money
down the side of a car. It wasn't even
especially
inside the car.
If it was inside, maybe...
Anyway, so... he was very, very, very charming and he was very good at what he did.
Yeah.
And I actually did find him on a website of like liarsandcheaters.com or something.
Yeah.
And other women had the same issue.
Yeah, so he's just a con.
He's a con man.
Yeah.
So I came back to Australia, kind of continued with him, but
Sounds a lot like the story that you just talked about where the girl didn't learn her lesson.
No, I didn't learn a lesson. But you know what? His thing was, when I was in the States, is he kept saying, we're going to be together. You can get out of your relationship that you're in. I owned a house with someone. And if I left them and they would buy me out of the house, I would have a big sum of money.
Yeah.
And he was constantly going on about, you got to get this money, you got to get this money, you got to get out of this relationship and get this money.
Yeah, I bet he was.
And it got to the point where, so I came home and he kept at me about this and I was like, just forget about the fucking money.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm getting any money.
Yeah.
And he would badger me about it and I'd be like, oh. And then when I did break up with my partner at the time and it was sort of settled that I was going to get a certain amount of money.
Yep.
He was like, well, that's not enough. You deserve this much. You need this much. And I was just like, nah.
Did he think that he was entitled to this amount of
because
money?
I was going to go live with him in the States and the money was going to be half his, Or he was going to kill me and it was going to be all his. I don't know.
It's quite a fantasy world that he lives in.
Yeah. So in the end, I was like, no, this is ridiculous. So
Yeah.
I just said, nah, you're full of shit. You got to go. You're a piece of shit. You're nothing like you said you were.
Yeah.
You're all lies. And then, so that would have been in about December, January. And then in April, for some fucking unknown reason, when I just moved out into my apartment after moving out of the house, because it took a while to do the settlement and all that, he messaged me because he probably knew I was about to get the money. He messaged me, I love you, on Instagram.
I mean, you know, real love.
What's not to love, really?
Right.
Money. So I was
He
like...
spent like 5 days with you, bro.
I know. Like, it's a lifetime, Johnny.
That's
So
love.
I was like, what in the actual fuck? I think that was... My reply was something like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then he deleted the I love you and wrote, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you can't just say you love me. He's like, I didn't say I love you. I don't know what you're talking about. That's how fucking insane he was.
Yikes. I feel like you dodged a bullet there.
Oh, there was so much. And there was so much more to it. Like, I actually think he had PTSD
Yeah.
from going to war. And I say that only because he never told me that he was in the armed forces.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody that knew him when he was a lot younger told me that he was in the armed forces.
Yeah.
And he used to... I feel like some of the conversations we had were him in flashback mode.
Yeah.
They were not real.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it wasn't real, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So I try to balance that in my mind that, yes, I was a sucker, but he was fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was an actual con man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they are my two really shit friendship, relationship, social media interactions that I am ashamed of. But, you know, we learn. We live and we learn.
Yeah, we do.
Yep. So, yeah. And did you come up with any...
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I don't really have anything noteworthy.
You're just too fucking magnificent. Nothing... You're not a sucker. You're not generous. You're not...
Just nothing really.
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
I feel like it's one of those things...
Johnny's street smart and I'm a fucking potato.
Well...
He's like, I didn't want to say it, but...
You know...
Anyway.
You're like a loaded baked potato.
Loaded baked potato.
There's substance there.
So, I think on a positive note, some of the good things that come out of connecting with people on social media are being able to find people with similar ideas.
Yep.
That aren't bullshitting you, that actually do have similar ideas, similar hobbies. You can connect with groups. So, for example, you are into riding motorcycles.
Yep.
So you are part of a wider community of riders.
Massive community.
You do moto vlogging.
I do.
Roaming Crow. Shout
Ask
out.
about me.
And you've managed to meet a lot of cool people.
Yeah, tons of cool people.
Because of that.
Yep. All over the world.
All over the world.
Not even just here.
And it's been really good for you to have that, you know, for someone that
Thanks,
doesn't...
Mom.
No, for someone that doesn't like people in general, as a general rule.
I like motorcycles.
You like motorcycles and therefore people...
And I like people that ride motorcycles.
So I think it's been good for you. Particularly because you've come from another country and you've had to start fresh here.
Yeah, it definitely helps to bond over something that you're interested in.
Yeah. So on that note, I'd just like to shout out to Bolt Bucket.
Bolty.
And Grombeardo.
Arid.
Who I think are two standouts as far as friendships go.
Yeah, we love them.
And pretty exciting because Bolt Bucket has a sequel movie coming out to his first movie, which was called
Attack of the Killer Thong.
Attack of the Killer Thong. And for those of you that are thinking it's a G-string, the underwear type,
That
It's
is
not.
mauling people. That is not.
It's well, I mean, they have been known to, but it's the thongs that you wear on your feet.
Sandals.
Sandals.
I mean, it's.
So I think he's got the sequel to that coming out soon. So
The return
the return
of the killer thong.
of the killer thong. So,
Dun dun dun.
Johnny actually did some of the artwork for the
And
poster.
we're supposed to be having a small little part in it,
We
so
may be having a cameo in the
yo,
upcoming sequel.
we'll keep you posted.
We will. So yeah, I think the other thing I think with social media is how it's really changed the nature of friendships.
Yeah.
So I think I was saying before about pen pals.
Well, that to me is kind of what social media is like. It is like essentially being a pen pal. The only difference is you don't wait 8 weeks for a letter to go back and forth
Yeah.
as you guys are DMing each other back and forth,
Yeah.
commenting on statuses, photos, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, whatever
It's
it is.
instant gratification.
It's instant, just connection.
Yeah.
It's great.
It is great. I mean, it can also be, as I've proven, tumultuous. Because with that instant connection, you can sometimes go into something a little bit blind and headlong.
Yes, and in a world where we've always had people using their brains for evil, in this kind of scenario, you have scammers that take people for everything that they have. So,
But, I guess the other thing with that is that some of our connections can be quite shallow
yeah, definitely.
and not as meaningful. But that being said, in real life, our connections can also be quite shallow.
Yeah.
So you can have a wide circle of friends
Yep.
or acquaintances,
Yeah.
and then you've got your inner circle.
That's
And I think
exactly
the
it.
same's true for social media,
Yeah.
because I have a lot of acquaintances, and
Yep.
then I have a small group of people that I've never met in my life,
Yeah, yeah.
but we have a connection.
That's how it goes.
And then I have the even smaller circle of my real
Yeah.
IRL friends.
IRL.
So yeah, it can be quite superficial at times. Probably harking back to the old, oh my god, you look so beautiful in this photo. You go, girl.
But growing up, how many of those kind of like yes girls did you have around that would just gas you up and just
Oh,
go,
we didn't. We were
really?
horrible to each other. It's the Australian way.
Okay, well, never mind. Unrelatable. Unrelatable. Moving on.
We work hard on bringing people down, not building them up, Johnny.
That's
Tall poppy syndrome.
can confirm.
You think you're good? Mm-mm-mm. We're gonna
Not-
chop you down.
Not in Australia, you're not, cunt.
Exactly. So yeah, I think also we talked about it last week. Tinder. So our relationships are very much based upon social media these days. Whether it be finding people on social media,
It's the instant gratification thing all over again now.
or continuing a relationship on social media. So
Yeah.
for us, that was how we had a relationship to begin with.
It's the only kind of relationship we could really have
Yeah.
at that time.
So as we've said, Johnny was in America, North Carolina at the time, one of his many moves around the country.
Geeked.
And I was obviously in Australia.
Yep.
And yeah, so we followed the same band page and used to see each other commenting. And then we
And I
started...
was like, damn, who is that hottie? Sorry, I meant thotty.
So then, yeah, we used to comment on each other's comments. And then we started following each other. And then I think we started following each other on Snapchat.
Yeah, Snapchat's kind of where it evolved a little bit more. Because we followed each other for months on Instagram. And we would like each other's shit or whatever. But we never...
Never really talked.
We didn't really talk.
We
Like,
just
we would
comment.
comment maybe here and there. But we never anything substantial.
Yeah, but then Snapchat was definitely...
Snapchat was different though, because then I saw videos that had your voice in it and stuff like that. So it was a little bit more personalized than just seeing a photo
No,
of you.
I think I did a tour of my new place on Snapchat of all the rooms, and you were just like, oh, what is this little Australian girl, like
Thoughty.
hottie. Yeah, so I think for us it was a good thing.
Yeah.
And video chatting was, that was sort of our medium.
Yep.
So it was good. It was good. Not as good as real life, but it gave us the opportunity. So
In a world that we wouldn't have had the opportunity.
exactly,
So,
we would have been fucking pen pals, waiting 8 weeks for a fucking letter and a photo.
like, I think she still likes me. I'm not even sure.
That's the thing, though. You know what?
The
With social
world
media,
moves so quickly.
you don't get a reply in 30 minutes, and it's like it's over.
No,
They
no.
don't love me anymore.
Let me stop you there. So, I was reading. I follow this like bad Tinder page on Instagram, like just like Tindery nightmare type of things. And this guy's profile said, basically, if you don't answer me after I've messaged you, I'm just gonna unfollow you or unmatch you. I need you to be available at all times to answer anything that, like, any of my messages, to be able to chat with me. And it's just like red flag. Red flag, red fucking flag. Everything that I read on that profile was a fucking red flag.
Well, that's a good thing you weren't swiping right on him.
What I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty sure he was American.
Well,
Like,
I'm not surprised.
I think it was
you guys are pushy,
I mean, he's probably from Florida.
But
All the craziest people are from Florida.
that just goes to show the difference in the world now. The people want instant, and that's why when I'm on Tinder, I'm only generally swiping right on people that have kids because they understand what it is to not be able to answer and chat all the time. That just because I don't get back to you for 6 hours
Yeah.
doesn't mean I'm not interested.
Yeah.
It just means I actually have shit to do. I have a life. I probably have kids climbing all over me.
No, I've had women actually unmatch me or just basically tell me they weren't interested because I don't message them like 24/7. Like, I'm sorry, my whole life does not revolve around this shit. Like, you just gotta accept it. Like, a lot of these people, I think that because they're
My
single,
best friends don't even get
they
that
have.
much.
That's what
from
I'm
me.
saying. First of all, I'm not that person to begin with. Second of all, I don't have time like that to just sit on my phone fucking texting all goddamn day. Like, it doesn't work that way. But yet, here we are.
Here we are.
Arguing with people who have no lives.
Yep. And that's the other thing with social media is that, it can cause rifts in relationships.
Yeah.
So I know that when I was doing I don't even know what you say, sexy Instagram and my OnlyFans and that what I was doing or what these guys were doing, chatting with me,
Yeah.
etc., subscribing to me, was causing issues in their relationships. There was one guy who his wife found out.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a good feeling for me, but it was probably a pretty bad feeling for her too. So I think social media gives you that opportunity to cheat, or, sort of connect with other people romantically in a way that is very easy.
Yeah.
It's very accessible. Like, you can, sit on the toilet and cheat. You can be cheating on the toilet.
I do all the time. I'm just like, what up, girl? Every day.
So you only
That's
go to poop so you can talk
That's
to
the best
girls.
time to swipe right.
Oh God, you should be wiping right. So yeah, I just think it makes it easier for people to cheat. You don't have to go somewhere to be with someone. You can sext with them and you can do videos with them. You can jerk off while they're rubbing one out on a video,
Yeah, yeah.
So, and you can do that. You can go off to the toilet and your spouse doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah,
Your significant other. So
yeah.
I think in that regards, it can cause a lot of issues. And I think also a lot of women are very self-conscious. And so there's a lot of pressure from social media for them to be a certain way. And on top of that, with the internet, the accessibility to porn. So a lot of women are thinking they have to be what they see in porn. And a lot of men who are inexperienced think that's what women have to be, which is a bit sad. And then you've got women that are getting upset because their husbands, liking a hot girl's photo or DMing
But
some hot chick.
DMing one thing, that's a valid complaint. But liking a photo or being attracted to somebody else, it's absolutely human nature.
I know, but we're not a normal couple.
I'm not saying
I
that
think
everybody that should be in the same
no,
situation.
but I think most women would be upset if their partner was liking pretty girls' pictures.
Yeah,
And it
maybe.
depends on the picture, obviously.
Yeah.
If it's, a woman with her kids or whatever and it's just a nice picture at the park or something,
Harmless.
that's different to a woman with like a gym selfie with massive tits hanging out and,
In her
booty.
gains.
Yeah, like, so I think.
Yeah, what you know about hashtag booty gains.
I know nothing. The only time I get booty gains is when I've eaten too much. And it's not a flattering gain. Anyway.
I think that still counts, though.
Yeah, well, it's not the one that I'm going to the gym for. Anyway, I digress.
She digresses.
I always do. It's what happens when you have ADHD. Your brain is going on a million different tracks at one time. The fact that I can keep this, cohesive and comprehensive is, and I don't even take medication for it. So yay me.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should. Yeah. So I don't know. I think the other thing, and thinking of being in people's DMs and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that, for some reason, I automatically thought of that Adam Levine, whatever, the Maroon.
Oh yeah, the Maroon 5 guy.
Yeah, like getting into chicks' DMs and stuff.
Yeah, I forgot about all
And then I
of
was
that.
thinking about the accessibility of celebrities with social media. So the interactions you can have, that they'll like your posts.
Yeah.
Or that they might comment, or that you can actually DM them.
Yeah.
And some of them will respond.
No, it's great. I've had drawings of tattoo flash that bands have liked, that the tattoo flash was of a certain song or whatever. So it was really cool. I think it's great.
See, Johnny, tattooist by trade.
Former.
Just if you didn't know, just a little tidbit about Johnny. Yes, former tattooist. But yeah, you it's kind of empowering. You get these, likes. It feels good.
It does.
And that was never possible.
Tim Armstrong liked my photo.
That's so cool.
Goddamn right it is.
Do you want to tell the listeners who Tim Armstrong is, for those that don't know?
It's the lead singer of Rancid.
Ruby, 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 Soho. So that is so cool, and it's so cool that we have that. I mean, you could, fan clubs back in the day. You'd write to your celebs. You might get a signed photo.
That was
something.
the only way you had interaction.
It's that old letter writing, like.
Or standing outside of a venue.
Yes.
In hopes that you may get an autograph.
I did that a few times. You know what?
I've done that a few times.
I met
in the snow.
Mark Hoppus from Blink-182.
Nice.
In the tiniest of tiny little venues back in 1996. Because they were literally packing up their own shit at the end of the gig. It was a tiny stage.
Yeah.
So I got to chat with him, and I waited backstage for Korn at the back door.
Yep.
So I got to meet the guys from Korn. That was fucking magnificent. That was 1997. So I'm showing my age, obviously. Yeah. But you got to get onto these bands early. Back in those days, you did. Yeah. But now, you kind of don't have to. You've got this accessibility to them.
But also now, all these bands release backstage interviews or footage from their tours, all this stuff that you didn't get to see before.
You didn't get
unless you got like some kind of enhanced VHS or DVD or you know what I'm saying.
I know.
Like it had to be something. It was never, you couldn't go on YouTube and look this shit up. Like, it didn't exist then.
No, you had to put effort in.
Yeah, absolutely.
You wanted to know something, you had to fucking find it out. And
Yeah.
you couldn't just find it out on the internet.
And
you couldn't Google it.
No. And when you saw a music video and you saw that your favorite artist got a new tattoo since the last music video, you never know what the tattoo fully looked like because they never showed it. Unless you were lucky enough to see it in a tattoo magazine or something.
Yeah.
A whole different time. Now, it'll be on their Instagram, their Facebook, they have a fan page that's posted it.
The tattoo artist is posting it.
The tattoo artist has posted it, tagged him, tagged the shop, tagged the band, tagged the record label.
Yeah. So I actually had a situation where I was following and being followed by a celebrity.
Yeah.
And we did actually end up chatting a little bit. And I did actually I went to the States to see the band.
Nice.
And they hooked me up because I was able to chat with them.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And that wouldn't have happened in the past.
No.
So I got the whole VIP experience, which was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, so, it's nothing like it used to be. The only way you could sort of get that situation is if you happen to meet this person, and but I could literally just slide into their DMs.
And you did.
I did. So
it goes down in the DM.
I did. Anyway, I did typo. Oh my god! I said sorry to keep messaging you, but I wrote sorry to keep massaging you. So
Ooh.
that was I wanted to curl up and die and dig a hole and bury myself and never face the world again. It was embarrassing. Yep, but that's my life. Story of me.
You got to massage your favorite rock star.
Anyway, so I feel like we've probably talked enough for today. Hi to Lily in the UK, Michelle in Cali, Tristan in Indiana, some of my close friends that I've known for a long time or short time.
What up?
I think Tristan and Michelle, we go back like 7-8 years just on Instagram. We've never met.
Doesn't matter.
Carmen. What's up, Carmen?
What up, girl?
Joycey.
She's from New Jersey.
New Jersey. Hi, Carmen. Hi, girls. Hi, David.
Carmen from New Jersey.
Yeah, so...
Okay. So, that's going to be it for this episode. Check us out on Spotify and follow us on Instagram and YouTube. And we will catch you guys later. Peace.
Peace.